that has been largely precipitated by the pandemic is exactly this one-sided shifting of risks from employers to workers in a way that the level of risk undertaking criterion has been rendered futile. In its 2021 work program, the Commission recognized that there is a growing uncertainty on a number of issues concerning platform work, including employment status. And on the 24th of February, it launched a first stage consultation of the social partners, announcing its intention to put forward a legislative initiative on platform work by the end of this year. So in my paper, I analyze possible approaches the Commission could take in an upcoming directive for platform work. One option is for the Commission to focus solely on the responsibilities of platforms towards the persons who provide services through their site or app, regardless of their employment status. So this way, the question of whether persons are workers or independent contractors is avoided altogether, and instead attention is paid to the rights of the persons who provide services through platforms. A second option would be for the Commission to introduce a classification test similar to the ABC test adopted by the Californian Supreme Court in Dynamax. Now, I don't have the time to go into details at the moment, but essentially, the ABC test would reverse the onus of proof by establishing a rebuttable presumption of employment status that would cover platform workers. Finally, the Commission could clarify the legal status of platform workers, and this can be done in two ways. So first, the Commission could provide a list of indicia national and European judges would have to take into account when classifying persons who provide services through platforms. And this is, for instance, the approach adopted by ILO in its recommendation 198. Or the Commission could propose the adoption of a broader EU worker definition that would cover platform workers as well as other persons engaged in casual forms of work. So what could this broader worker definition entail? Currently, to classify persons, the EU relies on the Laurie-Bloom formula of subordination that essentially takes into account primarily elements of control, but as I said, the court has increasingly been paying attention to the criterion of business risk assumption. And as we've seen, the second criterion, the criterion of business risk assumption, is inefficient in classifying modern day workers, and hence a new criterion is needed that would precipitate the fairer mutualization of risks between the parties. So my proposal is that the EU would benefit from an alternative risk-related worker criterion that is based on the involuntary assumption of business risks measured by the inability of a person to spread his risks. Now, the rationale behind this conceptualization is the following. So when an individual has the ability to spread his business risks, because, for example, he can pass them on to clients through the mechanism of price, because he has significant capital, has employees of his own, or has multiple sources of income, then this individual comes to the negotiating table as an unconstrained and fully autonomous adult. And so in this instance, the person can decide what kind, quality, and amount of risks he wants to undertake, if any. By contrast, when a person does not have the ability to spread his business risks, because, for example, he has no capital, has made sunk or job-specific investments, has no employees of its own, no alternative sources of income, or has no control over the business strategy, then this person is not really in a position to make truly free choices. And so, under these circumstances, the person finds, if you will, his back against the wall, because he has no other option but to accept whatever terms are being offered. And it's exactly the vulnerability of the person's position in these instances that I argue